been asked to make sure that each of you has something to write with, something to write on today. Do you all have that? Because when we do this story, we're going to do the letter of V, and you need to write down, thank you, Prakriti, well done. You've got to write down all the words that begin with V from the story while we're doing the story. So we're not going to write them on the whiteboard after. You're going to write them down while we talk about them. All right. So that's
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. So that's for when we do the story. But first of all, time to talk. And today I've got some questions about food. Some of the questions are about British food, things you might know about food in the UK. We might not, we might learn something. Some of the questions are about food that you might like, various things. So depending on what number you choose when it's your turn, you will depend on what question you get. So let's see who is going to go first. Let me just find, where is it gone? Hold on. Food discussions, here we go. So I need to get you all into a grid because I can't see you all at the minute. Right. No, I don't want, yes, we could do it like this. No, we couldn't. I don't want you to see what it is. Right, just ignore me for a minute. I'm going to put them in boxes. Then you can't see what it is you're going to get. All right. So here we are. Oops. Make sure I can see every single one of you. Right. So Prakriti, you're at the top of my list. And so you can choose the first one.
And me. Mama, number 4.
Number 4. Okay. Now, do you know this? You may or may not. I'm not sure I know, but let's see, what do we think? What do you think is the most popular food in the UK?
I think it is corn on the cob.
You might be surprised, actually.
Taco.
The most popular food in the UK is actually Indian curry. Who knew? Yes. I mean, it depends who you ask, but on a lot of this, it will say that that's the favourite food. Talking about traditional food, though, probably the favourite traditional food would be fish and chips. So food that actually comes from the UK would be fish and chips, but what people actually like is curry, including myself, actually. Fish and chips come second. Anyway, yeah, that's you started off with a difficult question there. All right, Arav, you're next on the list. So what number would you like?
Can I choose Swayam?
It's Arav next, and well, he's not choosing actually, is he? All right, then Swayam, you choose next, and then we'll have Arav. Yeah. Oh, hang on, no, you can go next. Who's it going to be? We'll have Arav because he was. This one. Did you say 3?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, that's a good one for you. Arav, what is your favourite food?
My favorite food is aloo ka paratha.
And why is that your favourite? Why is it so?
It's made of potato.
Made of potato, and you like potato. Excellent, well done. Thank you, Arav. Swayam now. So your turn.
5.
5. 5. Did you say?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So here's a good one. What did you have for breakfast today?
I had breakfast Maggie.
What's that? Can you tell me?
That is type of noodles.
Type of
Noodles.
noodles. Oh, wonderful. Noodles for breakfast. Fantastic. And what do you have? Are they sweet or are they savoury?
Yes, I also have lollipop and chips.
Wow, that's a different breakfast. I had porridge. There we go. All right, thank you, Swaya. Jyotsna next.
9. I like the biggest number.
All right, you've got a different one. What did you have for dinner last night? Last night, what was your dinner?
I had cottage cheese, gravy, and roti.
Oh, that sounds nice. I like roti and I like cottage cheese and gravy. So I think I would have liked your dinner last night, Jyotsna. That sounds really nice. Did you have a pudding? Did you
Do you know chapat?
ice cream afterwards?
Ma'am, me?
Wait a minute. Did you have any pudding after that, Jyotsna? Did you have a sweet as well?
Yes, I had chocolate milk.
Oh, very nice. Lovely. Okay, thank you. All right, Inari, you're desperate to go next, aren't you? Go on then. What number would you like?
1.
1. Okay, what do you usually have for lunch? So lunch is the one in the middle of the day. What do you usually have?
Chapati and
What would you have?
chapati and
Chapati, and what do you have with your chapati? Chapatis are really nice. I like chapati. What do you have? Do you dip it in something like I don't know, sauce, chutney, nice things?
curry.
Oh, lovely.
Curry also.
You're so lucky you have the best food, don't you? All right, so wait a minute. Disha next. Disha. So what number would you like?
Ma'am, 6.
6, yeah? Okay, do you prefer sweet or savoury food, and why? So do you like nice sweet things like cakes, or do you prefer, you know, bread and rice and things? What do you like? Sweet thing. Do you have a favourite sweet thing?
Yes.
What's your favourite?
Sweet like I like chocolate, but
Oh, you like chocolate, just like me. I like chocolate too. Okay, thank you, Disha. Okay, Rizu. I hope I said that right. Rizu, what number would you like? Oh, he's frozen up actually. You. Okay, I'll go to Arash. Come back to Rizu if you.
Yes, ma'am.
What number?
Number attack on 8.
Number 8. All right. What British food have you tried and did you like it? So think of something that's British. I don't know, fish and chips, roast dinner. Have you had any of those sorts of things and did you like them? You can say no.
Fish and chips.
Fish and chips. So what do you think of fish and chips? Good or not good?
Good.
Good. Yeah, I think fish and chips are good too. With lots of salt and vinegar on the chips.
Ma'am,
Who hasn't had a go? Rizu, you're back. Rizu, what number would you like? There's not many left, is there? We've got 2 or 7.
Ma'am, can I? Ma'am, 2.
No, this is for Rizu. What number would you like? Can you unmute Rizu first and then tell me what? Yes. 2. I think we have a bad connection. I'm going to do number 2 and hopefully you. Okay, this is what you've got. Can you name 2 British meals? We've talked about one already. Can you name any others that you've heard of?
Ma'am, burger.
Burgers, a bit American really. I'm thinking more, we've had the fish and chips mentioned. There's
Ma'am,
something very traditional that people used to have on a Sunday.
Ma'am, me.
What do you think? No, you've had your go. This is Rizu. Can you think of any other British meals? If not, Inati, you can come up with one as well.
For English breakfast.
So roast dinner would be another one. So like roast meat, roast potatoes, vegetables, that sort of thing. All right, I think everyone's had a go. See everyone. Isn't anyone that I can't see? I don't think.
Ma'am,
Yes,
I
Katie.
realized that you gave Disha 2 chances.
Disha's had a go. I don't think anyone else.
No, ma'am, I'm saying that you didn't realize that you gave Disha 2 chances.
Did I? Oh, I didn't mean to. Right. People keep moving around on my screen, so I'm not quite sure. As long as everyone's had at least one go, I think. I'll tell you what, we'll go for number 7. And if you know the answer, or you can think of an answer, just pop your hand up and we'll choose somebody. Whoa, okay. You'll all have one of these. So what's your favourite drink and why? Right, Prakriti, hand was up first, so you can have this one.
I like Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola. Diet or fully loaded?
Fully loaded.
Fully loaded with sugar.
And Sprite also, Sprite.
Oh, lovely. Sprite. Do you like your fizzy drinks then?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Ma'am,
Right.
soda fizzy drinks, right?
Yeah, that's right. I like coffee and tea, things like that. And other things that I won't mention on a lesson. Right, so that's our topic on food. Now we've got to go to the story of W. No, hang on, is it W? No, it's V today. W's next time. The story of V. Now, V is a bit tricky because there's not a massive amount of things that begin with V, really. So it wasn't the easiest one to do. Some of you have seen this one before.
Ma'am, you have to write, right?
We have to write down, yes. So when we're going through the words, when we do each page, we won't write it afterwards or write it during. So each time we come to a word, I want you to write it down. Most of them will be typed up in the presentation as well, so you can copy. But if there's any we're not sure on the spellings of, I will help you, but you should be able to see most of them. But you should end up with a nice list by the end of the presentation with all those V words. Okay. Now, I've actually forgotten who my character is, so let's have a look and see. Oh, Victor the vole. Yes, Victor. So, a vole was the animal I came up with for my character for this one. So this is going to be your first word. Victor is a name, so it's not particularly a word that you want to have in your word bank because it's not going to really teach you anything. But vole is this little furry guy here. He's quite cute. And I called him Victor, obviously, because it begins with V. So here we are as your first word. He's a vole. And voles are, they're quite tiny, actually. So they would sit in your hand and they live by water. And yeah, so Victor the vole is quite cute, quite furry, a bit like a mouse, really, that sort of thing. And Victor the vole in this story is vegetarian. So we've got 2 V words here, vegetarian and vegetables, because that's what vegetarians eat. Anyone here a vegetarian? Or do we all eat meat? Any vegetarians? Oh, hi, Anveshi. I don't think you had to, I didn't see you on the first bit. I've just seen your box there. Okay, so I don't eat meat, but I eat fish. So I can't say I'm a vegetarian because I do eat other things. But vegetables there.
Ma'am, do you eat?
Pardon?
Do you eat chicken?
No. I eat fish and vegetables, but I don't eat any chicken or meat or anything like that. So I hope you've both got both of those words. We will move on. Now, clothes. So Victor the vole obviously didn't really wear any. If he could have worn clothes, he would probably have worn a vest. So here's a vest. And a vest is a top that doesn't have sleeves, really. And sometimes they're worn underneath to keep you warm when it's cold in the winter. So in the winter, I wear a vest underneath to keep me warm in the cold old British winter. Okay. Now, there's an instrument that Victor the vole would have loved to have played if he'd been a bit bigger, and it was a violin. So we can write down vest and violin. Anyone play the violin? No violin?
No, ma'am.
Akriti, did you say you play the violin? I missed it.
I play the guitar a bit like.
You play the guitar. Oh, fantastic. My son plays the violin, so we have a violin here. So there's the violin. Now, there is a word here, village. And a village just means a small place where you can live. So a town is big and a city is bigger than a town. So a village is a sort of smallish place. This is a pretty one here in the mountains for Victor the Vole to live in. So villages are smaller than towns and towns are smaller than cities. So it's a small place to live. So there's village. That's another word for you. Any of you live in a village or do you all live in big towns?
I live in a town.
You live in a town.
I live in Mumbai.
That's a city, isn't it? Mumbai, big place.
I live in Navi Mumbai.
Okay, so it's a city, isn't it? Really big place. I live in a small town. It's a bit too big to call a village, but it's not very big.
What's
So
the
there's
name, ma'am?
of my town.
Yeah.
My town is called Stony Stratford. And yeah, Stony Stratford, and it's near a bigger town called Milton Keynes, which you may have heard of. Lovely list. I like your handwriting. It's neater than mine. Very nice, Prakriti. Okay, so I hope you're all writing all of this down. And you've written Venezuela, I noticed there, because Venezuela is a country that I found beginning with V. And it's right there at the top of South America. But again, it's one of those things. There's not very many countries that begin with V, but we did find one.
Above the equator.
That's right, above the equator. Not far above it, but yes, a bit above it. So it's probably quite warm in Venezuela.
Yeah, because it's beside the equator. That's why.
Yes, that's right.
Actually, above the equator.
It's above it, but it was near it, so it will be quite warm there. Now, there's an occupation beginning with V. Right, here's a nice long word for they're quite long words, these V words, and this one is a ventriloquist. Now, what a ventriloquist does is they are able to they have puppets, and they're able to make their puppets look as though they're talking. And they have a special ability that they learn to speak without moving their lips, and so the sound appears to be coming out of the puppet's mouth. So they kind of speak like this, and it looks like they're not moving their lips, but I'm not very good at it. It is actually very difficult to speak without moving your lips at all, but ventriloquists practice, and they usually have their mouth open a little bit like that. But it's not something I'm any good at, let's put it that way. But they'll have a puppet and they'll make it talk. So if I was a ventriloquist, I could make my puppet talk and sound like it was talking, but I'm not. So we're not going to get a demo of that. Okay, you done ventriloquist. Oh, I love your writing, it's so neat. Okay, now vehicles. So basically a vehicle is anything that you can travel in. So there's the word vehicles up there, and there's all kinds of vehicles, and one of them that does begin with a V is a van. And Victor the Vole, there's a white van driver. You see lots of vans, don't you? Lots and lots of people have vans that do jobs. They come around in their vans with all their stuff in. So we've got vehicles and vans. How are we doing with our lists? Hope we're all writing it down. Okay, thank you. Yes, vehicle. We got van written down there, Prakriti. Yeah, let's do van as well. So vehicles and vans. What else? Places. Now, there are some places beginning with V. They're not countries, but they're places in countries. So we have got the Vatican City, which is a teeny tiny. Do you know something about this, Prakriti?
Yes,
What do you know about?
Ma'am, it's the smallest city in the world.
Who said that?
Anvesh.
I was about to say that.
Yeah, it is. And I've been there. It's right in the center of the city of Rome. It's like a city within a city, and it's really, really tiny. There's hardly anything to it at all. And let's see if I can. This is like a little map of it here, and it's where the Pope lives. And you've got, this is amazing in here. It's a really wonderful place to go.
In Vatican City, all the popes live.
The popes live, yeah, that's where the Pope lives. And it's where the big church is, and not a lot else. There's churches, museums, and it's a tiny, tiny city here. So that is the Vatican City, and that begins with V, so I thought it was worth a mention. Now, next is another place, and it's also in Italy, like the Vatican City, and it's called Venice.
Venice.
Do you know anything about Venice? It's up here in the north.
Shakespeare wrote a like play on Merchant of Venice.
He did. He wrote a play called The Merchant of Venice, which is, it's a rather good play, actually. I went to see that at the Globe Theatre in London. It's really good. Yeah, it's one of his good ones. Now, Venice is actually a city in the north of Italy, and the unusual thing about Venice is it has no vehicles other than boats. There are no roads in Venice. There are only canals. So if you want to get around in Venice, you can't get in your car and drive. So when you go to Venice, you go in on the train, there's a station, you get off, and then after that, there are just these waterways called canals, and you have to go in
We
little.
just have to walk or
You can walk, yes, there are paths, pavements, but there's no traffic. So you can walk along the paths and pavements, that's fine. But if you want to go traveling faster, we've got Venice, you have to go in a boat. And they have these gondolas, very fancy boats. They also have bigger boats, they're called water taxis. So to go around quickly in Venice, or if you've got a lot of shopping or luggage, you get on a boat, or you can walk, you can certainly walk. And there's lots of bridges in Venice over the top of all the canals. It's a really fascinating place. Now, one of the kind of boats in Venice is called a vaporetto. So I put that one in. So if you have a look here, there's a picture of a vaporetto in Venice going along. It's a bit like a bus, really. So you might get on a bus to go somewhere. In Venice, the people get on the vaporetto, buy a ticket, and off they go. And quite often you'll see people playing the violin. They might play it on the vaporetto. They might stand on the gondola and sing or play. And so there's a violinist there playing the violin in Venice. So vaporetto is a word that you won't have got on your list, but you have now. Greasy has anyway. So the other ones, violin and Venice, you should already have. So Venice is an amazing place with all these V words as well. Brilliant. Okay, food. We always have some food, and I managed to find vermicelli. Anyone eaten vermicelli? It's like noodles. So vermicelli with vegetables, there we are. So you've got the word vegetables already, but vermicelli is this, it's a very fine noodle. And it's really, really nice, actually. If you like noodles, you'd love vermicelli. Yeah, Disha, you like that, do you? Yeah, it's nice, and you can flavour it with all sorts.
In India, there's such like fine noodles, but we put it in milk and it becomes a sweet dish. So whenever there's a festival, we eat that, and I love it. It's called sevai.
That sounds really nice. That's something I would love, I'm sure. That sounds delicious.
It's not a type of noodle, but it's something thin, like.
Yeah.
Like we crush it and then we fry it and then we put it in the milk and cook it.
I like the sound of that. I'm going to have to come to India and try all these things. Now, I found another country, and I've been here, Vietnam. So Vietnam is an amazing place. It's absolutely beautiful. When I went to Vietnam, I stayed here in Hanoi, and we traveled around here and saw some amazing things. It's a beautiful place.
Mom, in Vietnam, I can see Hanoi.
Yes, there's Hanoi, and then there is also down here, there's Saigon, and they're the two main cities. So the main city in the north is Hanoi, and the main city in the south is Saigon. And they are split into the north and the south, but they're all friends now. But when I was growing up, there was a big war going on there between the north and the south. And I never thought I'd be able to go there. And then 2 years ago, we went there on holiday, and it's the most amazing place. And it's all fine now, and it's lovely. It's a lovely place to visit. So there we are, Hanoi, Saigon, Vietnam. It's a very long, thin country. And it begins with V, so it came into our story today. Ooh. Now, some of you are going to like this because we have some ice cream eaters here, don't we? I know we've talked about food before, and you all say, oh, we love our ice cream. And one of the most popular flavours of ice cream is this, vanilla. Lots of people like vanilla. I think I probably prefer chocolate, but you know. Anyone like vanilla ice cream, or do you have other flavours?
Yes, ma'am. I just make a mixture of chocolate and vanilla and just put some chocolate chips and eat it.
That sounds nice. Yes, that does sound nice. Now I've seen that picture. I want one. Making me hungry. Now, so that's vanilla. So there's the word vanilla. This is a funny old thing. Anyone ever seen one of these?
No.
So this is called a vol au vent. And that's a French name, vol au vent. And it's like a little pastry case, and it has fillings in it. They can be sweet or savoury. This one looks like it's got mushrooms in a sauce, and they're about this big. They're sort of bite-sized things that you would have at a party when you've got food, finger food, so you wander around and eat things, take them off the plate. You don't see them very often now. They're very 1980s, they are. So when I was growing up, every time you went to a party, you get one of these, or lots of these. But nowadays it's not quite so popular, but you might still see them.
Mom, how does it taste? It's sweet or sour or bitter?
Mostly savoury. So this one's got mushroom and cheese sauce, I think, inside it, and they're usually like that. But you do see them sometimes with a sweeter pastry, and you might have like strawberries and cream or some jam or something in there. But normally it's things like mushrooms and cheese. So it's very 1980s that, but it does begin with V. So there we go. Okay, some animals. Vulture. Anyone heard of a vulture?
Yeah, ma'am.
No.
Yeah. The vultures come and eat things that other people. And the vampire bat. Now he looks a bit scary actually, doesn't he? So our vampire bat. Not the prettiest of creatures, either of those, are they? So, and the vampire is obviously also a mythical horror story character as well, with fangs, and gets up in the night and bites people and is frightened with garlic. But that's not the vampire bat. That will be a vampire in a story. Now, a nice person beginning with V would be a vet. So then we have a vet who looks after all the animals. Doctor for animals. We were getting all this written down, just conscious of the time, we're nearly done. And something that's quite a hot topic, vaccination. So vets give vaccinations.
Mom,
We will be having vaccinations like mad against COVID and all of that.
in India, we are having COVID-19 vaccination.
Not vaccinations yet. It depends. I mean, it depends on your age as well, I think. You have some vaccinations, yeah?
My parents have taken like both the doses of vaccination of COVID.
Yes, that's really good. The more people we can get vaccinated, the better. So in the UK, they vaccinated everyone 18 and over, but now they're working on the 16 to 18-year-olds at the moment. So we're getting there. My son had his second dose yesterday, and he's feeling really poorly today because he's having side effects, so he's in bed.
My mother and father also got vaccination.
Excellent, that's really good news. So I'm really pleased that everyone's getting their vaccinations. So vaccinations for animals and virtual reality, and it's 3 o'clock. Oh my goodness. So virtual reality, anyone played on anything like this before?
My uncle bought it, and we used to play the dinosaur game in that.
Ah, yes, and it looks like,
Yeah,
things are
real,
really happening,
real.
doesn't it? And you're
Like
moving around.
We can
Yeah.
roam around.
So that's virtual reality, or sometimes just shortened to VR.
We should make sure that we don't bump into something.
Yes, that's the problem, isn't it? Because if you start wandering off, it could be an issue. And here's a wonderful volcano exploding into the night. So we've got a volcano and we've run out of time. We've got violets and a vase to put them in. Squiggle that down quickly, because we do actually have to stop. Oh, a violin you've already got, and a viola. So a lot of the instruments in this string family start with V. Viol, viola, violin. Is there any more? No, there isn't.
Mom, can you show the violet?
Now, do you know what? I had a quiz for you lot to do as well, a game show quiz, and I've run out of time. So next week we'll have to try and do a quiz. So, lovely list. So if any of you missed any of that, Prakriti's the one to see because she's made a beautiful list of all those words.
And I also made it.
Okay, so I will see you next Friday and we'll be doing W, and hopefully we'll have time for a quiz as well.
Yeah.
But by now I've waffled on too long, and I'll see you next time.
Bye, Mom. Have a nice day.
Well done.
Bye, Mom.